What is the best way to find a mature buck during late season?
Find his tracks in the snow.
What if you don't have snow?
Glass.
There you go.
So what
Yeah,
I do
that's
is
around here.
late season comes, it's all about scouting. And my biggest problem with late season is that you have such short days, and for some reason I'm still working. So I'm sure a lot of people have that problem. So getting off of work with enough time to scout and stuff, and basically we get the weekends. You know what I mean? And the days are so short; it's dark at 4:30. So I can always only work till 5, so I get home at noon. 5
Yeah.
p.m. and then I go home at noon. You know me. But in other words, I sneak out early. But
Yeah.
get out and hunt, but it's hard to scout. But really, getting onto them is easy at this time of the year. Now, it's not right now, and the reason for that is now they got a 4-day doe season, right after 9-day muzzleloader season, right after 9-day gun season, all back to back, which is really crazy. It's another one of those things where the DNR works for us, but they act like we're their servants. I mean, I never got no questionnaire asking me if I wanted a 4-day gun season for does, but I ended up with it.
Mhm.
But when that doe season ends, we got, I don't know, a few days, like a week, maybe a little longer than a week. And then we got this really long doe hunt called the holiday hunt. At least in my county, it's not in every county. And that's all antlerless. And that they kill more bucks than they do does. If you add it up, they kill 11% shed antler bucks and something like 39% button bucks, because the button bucks are just walking around stupid because they've been kicked out of the doe groups and they don't
Yeah.
even have smarts. And then there's like a 4 to 6% or three to 6%. They don't know the exact numbers, but it's somewhere between 3 to 6% incidental kills of bucks, antlered bucks. Mostly the ones where the antlers are hidden by the ears or something like that. People shoot them on accident. Most of those get just left out there because people are so afraid of getting caught with an illegal buck. And a matter of fact, after doe seasons are over, I find dead bucks laying all over the place when I'm scouting. Every
Hmm.
time they have that holiday hunt. So I hate that holiday hunt, really. Me personally, I won't participate in doe hunts or holiday hunts. I'll shoot does during the regular season. So anywho, what I was getting at before I went on my tantrum is that that'll really kill the whole month of December for me. So maybe I'll go on a road trip, you know, someplace else or something. But we do get January then. The trouble is, a good number of the bucks will be shed by that time. But there'll still be a few out there to chase that aren't. Um, and I do well in January. But to get on them, I glass them, I shine them, I find tracks in the snow, and I do a lot of scouting. And where I'm looking mostly is around food sources and dense swamps. The more snow you get, the more they're going to be in dense cover because they're going to be eating browse. And you got to think about where to browse is good. Um, if there's standing corn, you want to look for standing corn. You want to look for things like that. Um, and I will search down and find them. And what you're going to find is it's pretty much a ghost town everywhere, except for where the deer are. The deer will be congregated in groups, at least up here in the North Country. And this is if there's snow. I mean, I know where Tim hunts, there's snow. Maybe not now, but there will be. Snow and cold will get them moving really well. The cold days will get them moving in daylight really well. But these deer will be the most patternable they are the entire year. They're more patternable in winter, in the end of the season, than they are in early season, than they are in rut, than any other time. Until you get in there and shake them up, they'll just do the same thing over and over again because they only really exist at that time of the year to go from bed to food. They're kind of miserable and just surviving. So if you play it right and you kind of look at this from a distance, you glass, you get onto tracks, you back off, You find this food source, you find where there's a lot of activity, and then you sit back and you watch it once or twice. Those deer will repeat the same pattern over and over again. And then you can move in for the kill. And I think that this is one of the best times to kill big bucks in the aspect that they're so patternable. However, there ain't a leaf on a tree, and they will spot you in the tree really quick. They're if you hunt the same spot twice, they'll bust you for sure. And you'll have, in a lot of cases, when you hit it right and you get on a big number of deer, there'll be, 3 or 4 bucks that you're willing to shoot that are really good bucks, and 30 or 40 deer you don't want to shoot. And guess which ones are going to come by first and spot you in the tree or smell where you walked? So it's got its challenges. But locating them, I'm looking for that thick cover that's got lots of browse. Dogwood is a good one. Near crop fields, especially standing corn, because it doesn't get buried in snow. But those kind of things. They're going to move to that dense cover, both for wind, to get out of the wind and cold, and to get food. A lot of times they'll bed in pines, because pines will be warmer, especially if they're thick pines. But again, near food, they're not going to really eat the pines unless they're starving.
Yep. Well, you answered like half the questions in that spill there. So, no, I'm kidding. No, that was good. Yeah, here in Indiana, I do a lot of you just drive the roads and find, the pockets of deer. Especially if you don't have time to hunt in the evening, like a lot of us, a lot of you don't, that have to work, or you don't get off until, 4 o'clock, and all of a sudden you only got an hour and a half of daylight on the Eastern time zone, at least. If you can just on your way home from work, just start driving roads and looking that way. Do you find that, if you find a group of, say right before dark, you see 30 does out in the field. Do you think the big bucks are making their way to that same food source that time of year?
Yeah. I think, how I always say, that the does and the small bucks are like squirrels and rabbits. They're not even the same species. Winter, they start becoming the same species because it's all about food. So they get on those same patterns.
It's their only option.
Yeah. So if you find a group of does, you usually found a buck too, if you're patient and you watch, as long as it's a bigger group. Sometimes it takes a night or two to watch, and sometimes you don't find them.
I think that covers that question pretty well.
You made a good point about the roads, though, and driving the roads. And I kind of said it from the aspect of trying to hunt every day. And you're right. I mean, if you ain't got enough time to hunt, or if you're not onto something. So if you haven't done that scouting that we were talking about, I mean, just going out and hunting near thick cover isn't going to do you crap for good. So you're better off just scouting until you get on deer at this time of the year for your hunt, because you're going to go through vast areas of not finding deer. And like you said, the best way to get on them rapidly is with a vehicle.
Cover ground.
Yep.
Hey, everybody. If you like the channel, make sure you subscribe right here. And if you like the clips, I got 2 more options for you. 2 options right here. Subscribe right here. See you guys.